Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on where you're joining us from. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for your interest in the University of Toronto, Mississauga, or UTM for short, as we like to call it. My name is Megan McCulloch. I'm a student recruitment officer here at UTM, and I'm thrilled to be here today to share with you some of the unique features of the Mississauga campus and to highlight information for you to consider as you make this important decision for your future. I'm joined today by a few of my colleagues. We have Jan and Kwame, who I will invite to unmute and introduce themselves. Let's start first with Jan, a current student here at UTM.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Jan. Thank you, Megan. And I'm a third-year student here at the University of Toronto, Mississauga campus. I study economics, political science, and I also have a minor program called Ethics, Law, and Society, which is pretty much philosophy and pre-law in merged into one.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Jan and Kwame.
Hello, everyone. I am Kwame Diko. I am the Manager of Diversity, Student Recruitment, and Admissions here at University of Toronto, Mississauga. I am a U of T alumni, having completed my undergraduate studies at the University of Toronto, Scarborough. I did a double major in psychology and philosophy, and now I am completing my master's studies downtown at U of T, the Ontario Institute for Studies of Education. Back to you, Megan.
Thank you, Kwame. Thank you both so much. So we have a great little event for you planned for you today. I see that people are already introducing themselves in the chat and letting us know where you're from, so continue to do that for sure. We're going to start first with a brief little overview about the University of Toronto, Mississauga, and what it has to offer you when thinking about these next steps in your academic journey. And then I'm going to pass the floor over to Jan. Jan will be giving you a virtual tour of our beautiful campus. He'll teach a little bit more about each of the different locations, all while talking about his student experience and what it's like these days as a UTM student. If at any time throughout this presentation you have any questions, please do not hesitate to share them in the chat. We are also joined today by Philandra, who will be answering all your questions throughout the presentation in the live chat. At the end of our presentation, Jan, Kwame, and myself will all join back on screen to go through a brief question and answer period before wrapping up the event. So with that, we will say bye for now to Jan and to Kwame, and we shall get started. So to begin our presentation, we would like to acknowledge the land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and the Mississaugas of the Credit. And today, this meeting place is still the home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island. And we are very grateful to have the opportunity to work, to live, and to learn on this land. So, as you may know, the University of Toronto is one university with three distinct campuses, meaning that you have three separate learning environments to choose from. All three of our campuses have something unique to offer, but the important thing to really remember is that at all three of our locations, you'll be getting the exact same world-class education, and you'll be graduating with the exact same University of Toronto degree. So this means when you graduate on your diploma, regardless of which campus you study at, it will say the University of Toronto. For today, however, we will be focusing on the Mississauga campus. So our Mississauga campus is located in Mississauga, Ontario, which is just 30 minutes to the west of Toronto. Our community is home to around 15,000 undergraduate students studying across the arts, sciences, and business. As an applicant to UTM, you will choose, or maybe you've already chosen, between 12 different admission categories that we have at UTM, which can lead you into over 180 different programs, which span across 18 different academic departments. What this really means for you is that you will have a wealth of options to choose between. The university attracts students from all around the globe, and our student body and large network of alumni connect us with over 100 countries around the world. Amongst public universities, we are ranked first in Canada and 11th in the world for global alumni employability, meaning that our graduates are among the world's most sought after in the minds of employers. This means that your degree can quite literally take you anywhere in the world. And so you might be asking, well, why might you consider UTM, or why should you choose UTM as your new home going forward in your education journey? Well, we really do have a lot to offer our students. And for that reasons, students choose us for a whole wide variety of reasons. As you can see from this slide, these are just a few of the things that you might want to consider as you begin to think about where you would like to continue on your academic journey. You'll have the opportunity to participate in cutting-edge research with world-renowned faculty as early as your second year of studies. The city of Mississauga is a vibrant, multicultural city right on the border of Canada's cultural and economic heart. We call ourselves the natural choice, which is probably one of my favorite things about UTM. So even though we are in the middle of a bustling city, our campus is surrounded by 225 acres of beautiful protected green space, surrounded by trees, woodlands, and gardens, and is also home to many deer on campus, which you will most likely encounter during your time here at UTM. Also, the university has just been named the most sustainable university on the planet, which is something that we are all so very proud of. As a member of our community, we're always looking to support your transition, and we have an abundance of supports available for you, which are designed to meet you where you are and to also help you reach and exceed all of your expectations. We are also the #1 university in North America for research-based startups, and we are one of the top 5 university-managed incubators in the world. We are also home to a variety of unique and dynamic programs, including the premier forensics program in Canada, our brand new game studies minor, as well as our communication, culture, information, and technology program, which are all unique to the Mississauga campus. As I mentioned earlier, the university attracts students from all around the globe, and our student body and large network of alumni connect us with over 100 countries all around the world. There are so many different things that I could continue to go on and on with when it comes to the University of Toronto, Mississauga, but I know that you are all here primarily to get a glimpse into student life. So with that, I'm going to call Jan back up on screen, and I'm going to pass it on to him for our virtual campus tour.
All right, thank you, Megan. So, as I said earlier, my name is Jan. I'm a third-year student studying the social sciences and humanities. So, welcome to the virtual version of UTM that I have prepared for you all this evening or morning or whatever time it is from where you're watching. So, before we get started with the tour, I'd like to go over a few fun facts just so that you guys know what you're getting into. Although I do not live on campus because my home is less than an hour away from school, so I get to commute pretty quickly, I do get involved in student government. I'm a student governor on the UTM Campus Council, recently elected actually, where I advocate for student interests both in school and surrounding cities. I'm also the president of the UTM Urbanism Club, which is a club dedicated to smart city building and transit advocacy. Finally, I'm also a working student. I work with some of our awesome co-hosts here, like Megan and Kwame. So we tonight are very happy to host you all today, and I assure you, you are in great hands. Now, with all that said, let's go to our first stop, the Kneff Center or Innovation Complex. Kwame, would you mind starting us off with the Kneff video? All right, so CANEF is a very important building on campus because it has the office of the registrar. This office basically handles all the things related to course enrollment, academic advising, financial aid, and tuition payment. Once you guys enroll in courses during mid-July, tends to happen mid-July for first years, you will see your tuition fees on the Office of the Registrar's website called Acorn. CANEF is also a hub of the arts. We have the Blackwood Art Gallery, which our students use in collaboration with certain artists from the Greater Toronto Area or even internationally. And they use this area to regularly show off their work to our campus community. Right now, they're showing off their cycle of entanglement exhibit, as you can see here. And actually, to the right of that is a photo of a variety of other exhibits that our art students put. So not only can you see art culture in the Blackwood Art Gallery, but while you're walking to your classes, you can enjoy some of our student bodies' good works for your enjoyment. Finally, CANEF is also known as our business building. We have departments like economics, management. I'm in economics, so I spend here a lot of time. We also have finance, and we also have the Institute of Management and Innovation. They're all here in CANEF. So if you're an economics student like me, you may benefit from places like the iCube Hub. To the leftward image is the sort of poster they have. iCube is basically a program that helps aspiring entrepreneurs get to know the industry, and they get to learn how to run a business, and they can actually pitch an idea and perhaps get an award. With money you do not have to pay back to get yourself started. You can also access places like the UTM Economics Help Room, which is the middle photo. And you can also go to the Finance Learning Center if you're a finance student to learn about finance or accounting, so that all of these resources are available to you to make sure you keep your learning as a business or economic student on track. So now, moving away from CANEF, let's take a detour from academics and talk about fitness. Kwame, let's show our guests a clip of what The Rock has to offer. Let's play it. All right, everyone, welcome back. This is The Rock, basically the UTM gym. You can scan your student card to get unlimited access to gym facilities, machines and equipment, hundreds of programs like Zumba or boxing, an 8-lane swimming pool, which we recently renovated last fall, or 2 falls ago, sorry. We got 2 large gymnasiums that you and your friends can book, or your club, a large soccer field outdoors, and much, much more. Suffice to say, UTM has got you covered when it comes to fitness programs, so do check out the Rock website for more details. The Rock also has women-only hours in certain areas of the gym every day, so check out their website about that. And it does allow basically our female students to have a lot of privacy if that is something that they do seek. We also get 1.5 hours of one-to-one personal training sessions as part of tuition, so you don't have to pay out of pocket when booking unless you want to get even more sessions. So if you're a rookie like me or a dedicated gym bro looking for some advice, we have trained staff you can work with at The Rock. Speaking from personal experience, I was a rookie going into the fall, and I wanted to sort of get my fitness journey started. And I was able to meet with one of my instructors, and she was basically able to create a fully fledged fitness training program just for me. And that is extremely convenient. And that, once again, is part of tuition, so you don't have to pay out of pocket upfront. Moving on, I'd finally like to mention that U of T has a varsity team called the Varsity Blues. Although their headquarters are not at UTM, every one of our students at UTM can join the Varsity Blues team and compete against other colleges and universities around the land and try to win the gold. Whether it be football, like we see here, hockey, lacrosse, or other sports, Varsity has got you covered if you are interested. So moving back to academics now, let's go to UTM's first building, the Davis Building, or DV for short. Kwame, let's see the video. Built in 1974, this brutalist style building has been around since the days when U of T Mississauga used to be called Erindale College. Since then, we've upgraded and expanded Davis to have a ton of academic departments, labs, and classrooms that everyone can benefit from. Starting off with the departments, from the student services side of things, uh, we have a newly opened student services hub. It actually opened this semester. And so, first off, in that hub, you will find the International Education Center, or IEC. This IEC helps international students sort things out with study permits or their visas, etc. However, the IEC doesn't just do basic international student support. They also host the UTM Study Abroad program, where all students, both domestic and international, can go to one of over 100 different schools U of T has partnered with. And basically, they get to do their studies in a foreign country as sort of like a vacation and a study trip all in one in the same package. There are funding options available, so do not worry if you need some help financing your, uh, let's say, Atlantic getaway, then that is definitely something the IEC does have your back with. We also have the Career Center. The Career Center helps students do career related things such as the resume. You can help write your cover letter. You can create a new LinkedIn profile. They really helped out with mine, actually. They also have industry partners where you can hold a mock interview. I had a mock interview with someone from Bell Media, so there are corporate partners. And they actually host 2 career fairs in the Rock Gym, which was our previous stop. So in the gym, twice a year, you will have a career fair. So you get to know what jobs are hiring maybe for the summer, or if you want to work part-time during your studies, that is also an option off campus. And these are all sort of resources that the Career Center of UTM can help you with to get started on your career. On the lower levels of Davis moving down, you'll find the HCC, or Health and Counseling Center, which is basically the campus doctor where you can get like physical or mental health related appointments. As part of tuition, you get access to personal checkups or counseling support to make sure your wellness is all right. You may also run into the big image here we have on screen. It is the UTM bookstore, which is the go-to place you can go for textbooks, branded merch. As you can see, there's a lot of that here, utensils, and other goodies. Moving on to academics, Davis is a home to a variety of STEM-related departments, from chemistry, physics, or bio to geography or earth sciences. Many such departments and professors will be found headquartered here. We have tons of newly modernized labs with large student capacities, and we also have a few lecture halls. Finally, I'd like to mention that the Davis cafeteria is pretty much the social hub of campus. You can see here that I did some, what's it called? You can see here that a bunch of students are dining, and it's got a bunch of food options. So the Davis cafeteria can span from, Canadian style donuts from Tim Hortons, all the way to Thai Express for that sort of cuisine. So whatever you like, there is probably going to be something served here at Davis. So you can always expect new flavors here in the Davis cafeteria. So moving on, let's head to the Communication, Culture, and Technology Building, or CCT for short. Kwame, let's roll the video. So CCT is basically our tech and communications building. So this is where a lot of communications related majors would have their profs here. On the upper levels, however, for any psychology students in the room, we have psychology student labs where you, as a psychology student, especially in your upper years, could hire students to participate in live experiments. I personally did one last summer and one the semester before that, where they basically paid me to test my ability to remember and recognize patterns over a long period of time. They said I did average compared to their other contestants, so to say. So I guess I'm okay. My pride is intact. CCT's room 1080 is also our biggest lecture hall. You might have seen in the video. We did mention that. The lecture hall CC 1080 houses around 500 students. It looks pretty much like a movie theater and is often used for movie night events, or since it is final season next week, some of your final exams may be hosted there too. We also have the Mist Theater, which has a variety of visual displays run by our art students. So whether you're interested in the arts through the Blackwood Art Gallery or you want something more interactive like a live performance or some sort of meeting group about the arts, the Mist Theater has got you covered. And those productions are all handled by the Department of Visual Studies and also the Department of English and Drama. So with that said, Kwame, if you don't mind, I'm going to need more of your help. Let's see a video about our Hazel McCallion Academic Learning Center. Let's play it. All right, so the Hazel McCallion Academic Learning Center, or just the library for short, or HM, this is basically the UTM school library, and it's named after the city of Mississauga's former mayor, Hazel McCallion. Hazel McCallion is also one of the longest reigning mayors in Canadian history, so that is quite a powerful name that we name our facilities after. So, moving into the library itself, the building, let's start with the RBC Learning Student Commons. This building has the references and research desk to the left, where basically you can learn how to research things better, do things like an annotated bibliography. That actually helped me a lot recently with a paper I wrote for international relations. And you can also learn new citation styles like APA or Chicago style. It also has a 3D printer, a podcast recording room on the upper levels, and also a loans and information desk where you can borrow things like a calculator or chargers for several hour periods. This desk for the loans and the research desk came very clutch to me last year because I was taking an economics course and I forgot my calculator, and I didn't realize that till 15 minutes before the exam doors opened. But since the library was open, it's open 24/7 during exam season. So they were able to rent out the calculator for me and save my career because I was able to calculate the math questions properly, or economic questions. Now, about the library itself, the UTM library is part of the One University, Three Campuses system. This means that although there's just one UTM library on site, you can benefit from the other libraries. There's over 40 different ones to choose from. They're located both downtown, UTM, there's one here, and then there's also one at Scarborough. All of those are accessible through your U of T student card called the T card, and you can also log in online through your Join ID after you activate it into a UTOR ID. The library has 2 medium noise floors and also has 2 upper levels, which are silent study. Each floor has sound resistant study rooms, which you can book online in advance, either by yourself or with your friends. The library, like I said earlier, is open 24/7 during exam season. So as of April 3rd, it was like that for this year. Although during regular hours, it opens from the early morning to around 8 p.m. outside of exams and during the summer. So, especially during exams, you can come here. This is one of the go-to places to go study. And you can also go on the lower levels where there's a Starbucks so you can get a coffee. Now, with the library done, we're around 2/3 through our tour. So, Kwame, let's bring our guests to the second part of the tour, this time in IB. Let's shoot the video. Some of you may see, now that we're back from the video, that Beside Instructional Center, I wrote the short form as IB, not IC. This is not a typo, actually. The legend goes that IB, when it was being built, was about to be IC, but we couldn't do so because the Scarborough campus took it first. So, to spare you some confusion when you do try to find your classes in first year, IB means Instructional Center, and this is how it looks. So, IB itself does not have any major departments headquartered out of it, so everyone can have classes to be expected here, no matter your major. Around half my semester is here, actually. IB has a lot of modern lecture halls to foster your learning, and it also has a dining area where you can grab lunch. As you can see here, we have an image of IB 110, which is the a very large lecture hall that's around tied in first with CC 1080 in capacity, because it also has 500 students. So you have high capacity lectures. Everyone's going to have classes here. For commuters, though, there is a benefit for you in IB as well. You see, IB has the St. George shuttle bus. The bus platform is on the backside of IB, and that means you can get a direct trip to downtown Toronto as part of tuition. So once again, you do not have to pay out of pocket. So this could let you take a couple of downtown U of T courses if you want. Since we are all U of T students, whether you're Mississauga, Scarborough, or St. George, we can take courses in each other's campuses as esteemed educational guests. So with that said, let's move to our Montjuïc and Des Moines building. But before I start talking about it, Kwame, would you mind cueing the video? All right, so opened in 2019, this building is one of our newer facilities, and its name directly translates from the indigenous Ojibwe language from Montjuïc and Des Moines into the phrase gathering of minds. I understand that its name is quite difficult to learn for English speakers, so I'll just call it MN for short for the remainder of this presentation. MN is UTM's Social Sciences and Humanities building, so you can expect a lot of departments like sociology, political science, English and drama, or philosophy here. So this is sort of my second headquarters. You see, in CNF, I go to in economics, I go to CNF, but here for philosophy or political science, I would go to MN. And then also has a really cool resource called the Robert Gillespie Academic Skills Center, or RGSASC for short. This center helps students with academic skills. So an academic skill that's relevant to upcoming first years like you guys is some of their math or English training courses, and they are hosted over the summer. These are a great way for you to prepare for university curriculum, because they basically review some of the high school knowledge you would have learned while you're applying. And then it also has a few prep assignments where you could prepare for university level stuff so you aren't caught surprised by the curriculum. The RGASC also has exam jams to help you prepare and de-stress ahead of exams. I actually attended an exam jam for my international relations class this morning, and it was both very educational because the prof came in and helped us. He gave us a guidance on how to review for the exam instead of just saying review for the exam. He actually, showed us, the key points and the questions that will be on it. And then afterwards, I was able to sort of go to their more wellness, mental health sessions, where I was able to participate in a few exercises, like I think I pet a dog, and I also beat a lot of people in Mario Kart. On the second floor of MN, you can find the Sheridan College bus platform. That is the second shuttle bus at UTM. So there are two as part of tuition. This is similar to the St. George shuttle, which is the other one, except instead of taking you to downtown Toronto, you get driven to the Sheridan Trafalgar campus. The reason for this is because many of our humanities students use this shuttle bus, uh, especially in the arts, things like that, because UTM is the only U of T campus where some of our art students can get a Bachelor of Arts with honors from U of T, and at the exact same time finish with a Sheridan College diploma. So you basically get double the credentials in the same amount of time. So if you're an art student here that is considering UTM and you're here in the chat with us today, UTM can be a great option for you to double your credentials in just a 4-year span. So moving on to our final academic building, but second last stop, we have Deerfield Hall, DH for short. Let's roll the video, Kwame. All right, so Deerfield Hall, as the name suggests, is named after the resident deer that live with us here on campus. So actually, if you wake up in the morning or stayed up into the late evening or maybe early nighttime, you might actually see some of our resident deer chilling on especially the soccer field or roaming through some of the trees, since we are, as Megan mentioned before my presentation, we are the nature campus. So on the lower levels of Deerfield, the image to the left, you'll find rehearsal halls for the Department of English and Drama, along with UTM's third major dining area called Northside Bistro. There's also a second Starbucks if you're looking for your caffeine fix. Moving upstairs to the image on the right, we find a lot of STEM-related fields such as psychology, math, stats, or relevant to the hack lab here, computer science. You'll also find the Math Learning Center where students can get help from a professor, from their professor or their teaching assistant to improve their mathing skills. So as an economics major, I have taken advantage of that resource, and I can personally vouch that they are very passionate about making sure your student experience is as seamless as possible through the math field. Now, speaking of math and computer science, I'd like to mention UTM's new interactive learning lecture halls, which are rooms with a similar capacity as a small to medium-sized lecture, but every student sits in a group of 6, has their own whiteboard, projector, and microphone to talk. So these sorts of classes, which a lot of CS students will benefit from, are basically large style classes, but you get the benefit of working as a team. That's a friendship making opportunity right there, and the focus is on you learning how to code, and so that is a very big advantage that our CS students have. A lot of our STEM students as well can take advantage of a new co-op program that is being rolled out as of next fall, I believe. So if you are looking for a co-op, I do suggest that you check out details, because UTM is actually a very great choice if you as a coder want to get some co-op positions in that field. All right, everyone, we've reached our last stop, the Student Center. Kwame, let's see our final video of the tour. All right, so the Student Center is home to the UTM Students Union, which represents our rights and interests as a student body. The union gives a lot of benefits for students regarding services and perks, such as free transit in the entire city of Mississauga. This is something that I use daily. In fact, I used today to get to my exam jam and back because I live in Mississauga, and that is one of the reasons why I chose to commute. They also have this partnership with an insurance provider called Green Shield, where you get dental and eye care coverage, and that does include wisdom tooth removal. I got my wisdom teeth removed last December. It was a very interesting experience, to say the least, and it did pay for my wisdom tooth removal. I got all 4 done at the same time, for anyone wondering. In addition, another service I want to talk about is their UTMSU tax clinic. The tax clinic basically lets you submit your taxes for free instead of paying for an accountant. Accountants can be pretty expensive in Canada, so that is a resource students can use to sort of stay financially responsible without needing to pay to be financially responsible. The Student Center itself has regular events throughout the year, from orientation, which is actually the image on the screen right now. It's actually happening this August, so that is something you guys can look forward to. But once you become a student, you can look to events like the Halloween party. They have a haunted house that they set up, actually. So if you want to get scared, that is something you can do. And also, they have events for things like Black History Month. So no matter what kind of sort of social experience you're looking for throughout the year, the Student Center always has something exciting going on for you to do. The building itself does have some cool options for students, such as a multi-faith prayer space, a convenience store, a cha time bubble tea shop, and our campus pub, the Blind Duck. As you can see, there's a lot of variety in the Student Center, so you can definitely expect to spend a lot of time here, both dining or socializing, or on the upper levels, there are study spaces, so you can grab a snack from the Blind Duck and go upstairs and get some work done as well in peace and quiet. So even though we are done the buildings of our tour, congratulations, we have reached the end. I would still like to talk about student club life here on campus. As I mentioned sort of in the beginning of the tour, I am involved in student government and other clubs like UTM Urbanism. So I'd just like to say that UTM does have quite the club culture. I encourage all of you to get involved in clubs that interest you. They're great ways to connect and meet new cool people and explore your own fields of study. We have hundreds of clubs at UTM alone, recognized by the UTMSU, and that's not even including the hundreds more you can join at St. George or Scarborough, because, like I said, one university, three campuses, meaning as U of T students, we can join most other clubs too, and of course, vice versa. My club journey has personally been very rewarding. As you can see on the screen, I took a few silly and slightly more serious photos. Uh, I've made friends with like-minded people, visited cool places, and was able to expand my professional network more than I was able to even think was possible. Just recently in March, I was actually able to work with my buddies at the UTM Urbanism Club to present a speech to City Council. So on the left here, you'll see a photo of me sitting in the mayor's chair. To the left of me, sorry, to the right of me, but on your left is Joe Hornick, one of the city councilors of the city. And on the right is someone from the UTMSU. Uh, I was able to use this opportunity to advocate for better cities, which is my passion as a political science student, while also meeting important people alongside my friends. So I hope this shows you guys the value of joining a club. If you don't know where to start in your first year, you don't know how to find a club, I understand. I've been in that position, but don't worry. I was really anxious because I didn't know about this when I was starting out, but there's actually a club week at the beginning of first year. So that's basically a massive fair in the CCT building, one of our earlier stops, where all the clubs on campus sign up to set up a table and you can talk to them. You can meet their executive team. You can hear about what they have in store for the rest of the year to see if it interests you. And you can join up, join their team if you like. And that's sort of how I got my start with urbanism. And it really did snowball. Like on the right, we have a photo if anyone's an urbanist here. We actually went and hosted an event with urbanism to meet with this guy called RM Transit. So he met with us in person and held an event with us. To the left, I said I went to city council. And in the middle is me handing out really tasty Costco cookies to potential voters because it is right for them to express their right to vote while staying fed doing so. So with that, everyone, we've reached the end of our tour. I want to thank you all for coming here. For me, it's the evening, but no matter what time it is, I want to thank you all for sort of hearing me out and seeing all the wonderful things UTM has to offer. I wish you all the best of luck in your applications, and I hope to see you all in the upcoming fall semester. So with that all said, I will turn it over to Megan to do the next part of our presentation.
Thank you so much, Jan. So much information. I see that our questions and chat has been sort of going off the hook. So I think it's perfect. We've got a good 15 minutes to go through some questions. And so there are quite a few of them. Kwame, why don't you come back up? Hey, and you could sort of lead us through those questions. If you want to decide who should answer them, take it away and send them our way. Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Jan, for the awesome presentation. We're going to jump right into it because time is of the essence for us. So we're going to start with question 1 from EH Adventures. I'm going to pop it on screen so everyone can see. Hello, I have read that the Microsoft package is offered for free for students. How and when will this be offered to us? When do classes usually begin in January, and when does the last semester end? Well, Jan, I'm going to send this towards you because you most likely use Microsoft Office 365 all the time for classes.
Not only do I use it for classes, but I used it for this presentation. It is free. I'm not sure the exact day when it got activated for me because I became a student during the pandemic. So I'm a little bit of a special case. But usually I would assume that comes when your U of T account gets activated. So if you have your join ID as an applicant, you should. If you activate that as your UTOR ID with our IT desk at the UTM service desk in CCT, and you get your T card, you can ask them that if you want a direct day, but I'm pretty sure it'll be activated shortly after you get your email and your T card.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jan. You are very, very correct. So as soon as you pick up your T card and your UTOR ID is activated, you'll be able to log in through a secure sign-on to Office 365 and download your apps onto your computer. And you could also access the Office 365 cloud applications online as well. Now, in regards to your second question about the winter semester, I'm happy to take that one on and say classes begin for the winter semester on January 8th, according to our academic calendar. The last day of classes would be for April 5th. So if you have questions or you want to know when our sessional dates usually are, you could just type in a quick search, UTM academic calendar or UTM sessional dates, and it'll pull up the academic calendar for you. So thank you so much, EH Adventures. We're putting your question back. And now we're going to bring up Maria's question. Hi, I was wondering if you knew when will I find out about the scholarships results, specifically the Lester B. Pearson International Scholarships. Megan, may I route this towards you, please?
Sure. So the Lester B. Pearson Scholarship specifically should be, I believe, in April. So you should be hearing quite shortly. But of course, you can always reach out and contact the scholarship to find out if you haven't heard anything yet. So soon.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Megan. And Philandra, thank you for working your magic in the chat. If you wouldn't mind putting the Lester B. Pearson Scholarship contact info in the chat for Maria and for all of those who asked about it, that would be awesome. Thank you in advance. Philandra, thank you, Megan. All right. Thanks for the question, Maria. Going back. And I believe we have Con or Can K. I'm mostly interested in wait times for offer letters. I have applied in February, but there's still no progress on my application. Megan, back to you.
Thanks, Con. So at the University of Toronto, we do all of our decision letters in rounds. So they start going out sometimes early January, but typically through February, right through till May. So if you haven't received any decisions yet, it doesn't mean that you are not coming. It just means that you haven't received that decision yet. And that is totally normal. It is coming. It'll be coming shortly, and it could be right through till May.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you for the question. Okay, on to the next one. I like our progress. We might be able to get through all of them, everyone. So the next question is, hi, good evening, everyone. Hello. I would like to know, how is the support for international students? Jan, would you like to share a little bit about the International Education Center?
Sure. So I touched upon this in my tour, but there is actually a fair amount of support for international students on the admissions and administrative side of things. We have the IEC, the International Education Center. I've been talking for a while, so sorry for stuttering. Um, Basically, they help you out with sorting out your visas, your student study permits. I know there's been recent stuff going on that makes it a little uncertain, but they're over there free of charge. They are willing to do appointments directly. So if we can put the link to the IEC or an email or a contact number in the chat for Elvis here so that he can get in touch with them, that would be great. But on the social side of things, I did touch upon clubs. There are a variety of clubs for international students that so you can feel more at home because it is sort of a faraway land, Canada, the Great White North. So, for example, I have a friend who's all the way from Uzbekistan, and he's actually been giving me sneak peeks about some events he wants to plan. I won't share what those events are because he said it's a secret, but those just an example. Actually, some of those events are in collaboration with other schools. So from the community side of things, a lot of the clubs are also there to provide a sense of community. uh, I just gave an ethnic example, but maybe you're interested in, say, urbanism. We have a few international students and actually a lot of computer science students in my urbanism club. So I hope that sort of covers the administrative and the social side of things.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jan. And I will add that the International Education Center has a number of resources for students coming from abroad and students who wish to study abroad. So if you are a student and you want to know more about their supports, we encourage you to reach out to them. Not only do they provide supports through their staff, but they will also provide supports through their own student ambassadors and will be able to link you with a peer or an upper year student that would be able to show you the ropes and what it's like to be at UTM. So the goal of the International Education Center is to ensure that you understand that you belong at our campus, and they're going to do everything they can to help you acclimate. So thanks for the question, and thank you, Jan, for the answer. Okay, next one up is, when or where will I be able to declare other majors or minors? Megan.
Sure. So first year of studies will be more of a generalized year, let's say. So a time for you to explore lots of different options. And then typically around March is in that first year. So after you've received up to 4 credits, you can then declare your program of study, which we refer to as post, which is where you get to declare those majors or minors. So that's towards the end of your first year.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Megan. Very, very correct. I will also add that there are a couple of things for you to do, students, when you're out there looking at the different programs. We very, very much recommend that you start early. Take a look at our academic calendar. Take a look at the programs we have offered to you. We also recommend that you do some of the orientation through the Center for Student Engagement and do a first-year advising session with the Registrar Academic Advising Office. I saw that there was a number of questions in the comments about program selection, and can we talk a little bit more about that? Megan has just provided you with the intro and what you need to know going into your first year. Going into your second year, I provided you with the next steps on how you can prepare. All you need to know is each program has prerequisite requirements. Your first year will be dedicated to meeting those prerequisite requirements. There are different types of programs. One have no entry requirements and limited space for you, and some have entry requirements and unlimited application spaces, and some have entry requirements that you must meet, and they have limited spaces for students. So very much, we call them type 1, type 2, and type 3. Don't worry about the titles. All you need to know is every program will most likely have a prerequisite for you, and you will need to understand what you are going to be doing in your first year. So I hope that helps out. Thank you, Megan. And we're going to move on to the next one. Okay. Once a student has accepted their offer, when can they register for courses? I will throw this to Megan.
Got it. Okay, so you're going to start receiving lots of emails from the university. You're also going to be receiving emails regarding our Eagle Connect, which will all keep you up to date and in line with all of the next steps that you need to worry about. So we will most definitely speak towards course enrollment and registering for your courses. You'll get lots of notifications for it, lots of different webinars to join that will help you through that process. But that won't happen until middle of July. So we will connect with you. You don't have to worry about that now. But like I said, just keep paying attention to your emails and join any of the webinars that we have that are dedicated specifically to course selection. Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Megan. You're very, very correct. We'll move on to the next one. Sam Hills, what residence building would be most convenient for a first year's business management student? Okay, Jan, I'm gonna let you talk a little bit about the management program because I believe you touched on it during your tour. Do you remember what building management's in?
So management is in the Kenneth Center or Innovation Complex. That was our first stop. In terms of what residence is most convenient, I would say Oscar Peterson's pretty close. Arundel Hall's pretty close. And then some of the townhomes. I'm not sure if I'm not sure which townhomes they are, but some of the townhomes are also kind of close. But if you want something like close to food while also being close to your management classes or department, Arundel Hall and Oscar Peterson tend to be the best. I do encourage maybe you can check out like the virtual tour on our future students website that'll allow you to walk through basically the campus sort of with pictures and stuff so you get a better feel of the distance between those buildings, or if you're able to, you can come in person. You might even see me in person doing a tour myself. So yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jan.
Can I also just add to that?
Absolutely, Megan.
Sorry. So I do know that in residences, we also have our living learning communities. So if you are thinking about staying on residences and interested in joining a community of like-minded students who are studying either perhaps the same courses or even just have similar interests. These living learning communities have been designed for that. And business students actually do have a living learning community as well. So, our campus feels very big with all of the buildings that Jan went through, but all of our residences are quite close together. And so I think for the business living learning community, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's Roy Ivor Hall that they tend to be put into. So you would be put there if you were to join that living learning community. But like Jan mentioned, if you want to be close to the class and to food, then those are all great options as well.
Wonderful. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Jan. All right, we'll go to our next question. When do classes begin and end after the winter break? Jan, do you remember?
So I believe by winter break you mean Christmas. So I believe Kwame mentioned it was January 8th this year that classes begin, and then they ended 2 days ago. So now we're on a study break for the rest of the week, and then starting, I believe, I'm not sure when the exam season starts. Pretty sure it's next Monday as well. I got my exam on Wednesday and Saturday, so those are the days that I care about right now.
Wonderful.
But yeah,
Thank you.
basically first week of January till the first week of fall. Sorry, April.
Wonderful, Jan. Thank you very much, and you're very correct. Final exams begin April 11th and end on April 25th. So thank you for the question. Next question. Hi, when would I know if I'm accepted? Megan.
Hi, Precious. So like I mentioned a little bit earlier, all of our decisions are sent out in rounds. So they are sent out typically beginning in January, February, right through till May. So if you haven't received a decision letter yet, don't worry. You will receive information regardless, whatever the decision might be. So right through until May.
Wonderful. Thank you, Megan, and thank you, Precious. Okay, on to the next one. What faculties will be located in the new building, and will it open this coming fall 2024? Megan.
So yes, it will. departments have already started moving in. I do know that our forensic science program will be located there. I also know that, lots of lab spaces, our graduate students, postdoc students, but it will be open and available.
Wonderful. Thank you, Megan. You're very correct. Forensic sciences, and it'll be a science building. So it'll be our sciences. Also, a special shout out to medicinal chemistry, because there is a very, very large medicinal chemistry lab that will be in that new building as well. So you're very correct, Megan. Thank you for the question. All right. The next one, we have about 2 minutes left, so we're going to go rapid fire. Is it possible to transfer campuses? Megan.
Yes, so it is absolutely possible. It is also possible to take courses on other campuses as well. So we have that shuttle bus that connects the Mississauga campus to the St. George campus. But of course, if you start at one of the campuses, you are always able to apply to transfer to another campus. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you, Megan. This next one is for Jan. This is talking about clubs. Are you able to share a little bit more about your oh, wow, it went away. Where did it go? There we go. Clubs. Are you able to share a little bit more information about clubs on campus, Jan?
Okay, are there any extracurricular? Yeah, all of these actually have it. And speaking of soccer, there's like 3 levels. You got a basic soccer club for casual. Then you go 1 level up. You got the UTM Eagles, which is basically our UTM team, where you get to try to win against Scarborough and St. George to make all of us proud. And then you can also, on the highest level, join the Varsity Blues team and compete on a university college level. Regarding dance and swimming, we got swim teams, we got dance clubs, we also got music related clubs, we got photography related clubs, we got my city related clubs. A new club opened up recently about K-pop. So there are, like I said, I can go on and on. There's like hundreds of them, and you can join them all. There's no limit. I think Tara in the chat mentioned that there's no limit to how many clubs you can join, as long as you can manage it, and you can club to your heart's content.
Wonderful. Thank you, Jan. All right. So we've come to the end of our question and answer period. Thank you, Megan. Thank you, Jan, for answering all the questions. Thank you to Philandra and Tara in the chat. I know we had a lot more to get to, but we didn't make it. I'm so sorry. Please feel free to contact our office for questions. Jan and I are going to go backstage, and we're going to transition over to Megan to close us off for the night. So thank you both, and see you on the other side, Megan and everyone.
Thank you so much. Oh, perfect. Okay, so you brought up that final screen. So you'll see here our contact information. So I do encourage you, if you have any questions, to please reach out to our office. We are here to support you and to answer any further questions that you might have. We have lots of different types of webinars and special events that are going to be coming up. So definitely continue to visit our website and then keep checking those emails. Again, I'd like to thank Jan for giving us a lovely glimpse into the day of the life of a student, as well, of course, as Kwame and Philandra for their assistance with the chat and making sure that this whole event ran as great as it did. Of course, thank you all once again for joining us today and for letting us highlight why we love the University of Toronto Mississauga campus so much. Again, if you guys have any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. We love speaking with you, and we're always here to help. So thanks again. Have a wonderful day, evening, and we wish you all the very best of luck. Bye now.